It's your evening edition of the TCI World and Regional Top Stories for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. I'm DeAndre Hamilton. This is a Magnetic Media production. Get armed with an alarm system from Spence Security. What if you didn't wait until your home was invaded, your family threatened, or left to the mercy of a gun-carrying intruder? What if you didn't wait for someone to enter your business and put your staff and customers at risk? And what if you made your home less attractive to burglaries and trespassers? With alarm systems starting at $499.99, Spence Security can get you armed with cameras, panic buttons, emergency notifications, and best of all, Spence Security installs. Low monthly monitoring from $79.99 when you sign up for 1 year. Conditions apply, so contact Spence Security today. Dependable, professional, service you can trust. That's Spence Security. Topping the news just after 1 p.m. today, the Turks and Caicos National Weather Service issued a high surf advisory in effect for Providenciales, North Caicos, Middle Caicos, South Caicos, Grand Turk, and Salt Key. It also informed that locations to be affected are reefs and mainly exposed north to east facing coastlines. The advisory is on for today, Wednesday, and Thursday. An idea of what you're looking at out there: seas up to 10 feet and surfs as high as 6 feet. Coastal flooding is expected as well. The service said high tides combined with onshore wind and swell action could result in localized coastal flooding. This is serious, folks, because potential impacts are listed as currents that can carry off swimmers, interruption to marine recreation, coral reef damage, and beach erosion and loss of life. The TCI Weather Service today says less affected beaches are mainly to the south and west of your island. For the first time in his tenure as Premier of the Turks and Caicos, Washington Mizik will deliver his State of the State message from the capital, Grand Turk. The address, which mimics the U.S. and its presidential report, sets the TCI Premier before parliamentary colleagues, public sector leaders, stakeholders, and members of the public in a live-streamed event which itemizes accomplishments and rolls out plans for the year to come ahead of the start of a new budget year. The Washington Mizik State of the State address is set for Monday, February 19th, 2 days before the 3-year anniversary of his election to office as Premier. Still ahead, Rashid Essen with regional top stories.
There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such a wholesome variety of your favorite fresh foods. There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such outstanding service. And there is simply nowhere else in the TCI to answer your every food craving in a chic, comfortable, centrally located store. That's a place you can trust. Number 1 is Graceway IGA. Fresh, service, trust for over 20 years.
It's now time for your regional top stories. I'm Rashid Essen. Former Jamaican Member of Parliament Jolian Silvera has been charged with the murder of his wife, Melissa Silvera, who was killed last year. He was taken into custody on Thursday and charged on Friday by detectives assigned to the Major Investigation Division following a third questioning. It was previously reported that his wife, 42 years old, died in her sleep on November 10, 2023, at their residence in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. However, after her post-mortem examination revealed she was shot at least 3 times, the police shifted their efforts to a murder investigation, her husband the prime suspect. The Bahamas and Kenya have tightened their relationship, formalizing diplomatic relations with the signing of a document on January 20th. Taking place on the sidelines of the 19th Non-Aligned Summit, hosted by the government of the Republic of Uganda, the signing was done by the Bahamas Minister of Immigration and National Insurance Alfred Sears and Prime Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of Kenya, Musalia Mudavadi. Magnetic Media is your news leader.
At least one interception has been recorded since the start of 2024 for the Turks and Caicos. The January 5th operation involved a vessel carrying 215 illegal migrants. It took a Royal Bahamas Defense Force cutter, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service helicopter, and air support from the United States Coast Guard to interdict it. The vessel was escorted safely to Provo, where its occupants were processed and repatriated by the TCI's border force. The news came from the government governor's office on January 18th. Magnetic Media had received information about an interception in the first week of January and reached out to immigration, but there has been no reply. That does it for your evening edition of news. I'm DeAndre Hamilton. Thank you so much for joining myself and Rashid Essen, and we hope you're in tomorrow morning for another Top Stories in 5. Remember, you can subscribe at MMTV Caribbean at YouTube.